Well, hello, my name is Jim Royal. I'm a huge Beatles and Elvis Presley fan and basically classic rock in general. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Do a thumbs up, that's always most appreciated too, and feel free to leave comments. I always enjoy reading them and I do my very best to try to respond in a timely manner. Today what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk about something. There was an album that Paul McCartney was working on in the 1980s that sessions from it anyway, that he recorded a bunch of songs and was going to put out this album and decided to shelve it. I'm talking about tentatively titled Return to Pepperland. Very interesting, and it would have been very interesting for his career too. At this time he had just released Press to Play in '86, and it was a contemporary, deliberate contemporary sounding 80s sound. He had hired Hugh Padgham, producer for Genesis, and Phil Collins, Peter Gabriel, and the Police, among others, to co-produce that with him. And unfortunately, it just really wasn't doing too well. The reviews were lukewarm, and the sales were not as good either. And the charts, and the singles in the charts just weren't charting as high as he wanted to. So he was promoting that. He flew to New York in, I think it was September of '86, and he met up with Phil Ramone. Phil Ramone is a very well-renowned producer for Billy Joel, and also he produced Julian Lennon's first two albums, Velat and The Secret Value of Daydreaming. Now, Paul had worked with him the prior year in '85, recording the song Spies Like Us, which was the title to soundtrack for the movie Spies Like Us, and it's called Spies Like Us, and it was a top 10 hit, kind of a quirky number, but it had that contemporary kind of feel to it. Some of the songs on here have a similar sound to that, but they're not as sparse. So I guess the thing is, well, what if after Press to Play, what if he released this album in, like, say, '87, '88, and then he followed up with Flowers in the Dirt? What would that have done for his career? You know, what would this album have done well? The good thing is, a lot of these songs I'm going to talk about have been released in some form or another. Some of them wound up on Flowers in the Dirt. Others wound up as B-sides. Others were played on a radio series called Ubu Jubu that Paul basically was the host on in the summer of 1995. Much like the Lost Lennon tapes, if you're familiar with those with John Lennon, he played unreleased songs, concert versions of songs, sound checks, early versions, demos, things like that. So a lot of these wound up on that radio series. And also singles. So I'm going to talk about them to you, and just want to get your opinion on, you know, do you think that it was best, if you've heard these songs, that he shelved the album, or should he have released it? What he ended up doing after Press to Play, he put out in '87 a best of called All the Best, and he did have one new song on there, which I'll talk about later, from these sessions that was released in the UK and other parts of the world, but not here in the United States initially. Alright, so let's see. The first song we're going to talk about, so when he got together and he met with Phil in '86, they recorded two songs together using Billy Joel's backing band. They are Beautiful Night, which was just fantastic, with Ringo, by the way, also. That would be later re-recorded for Flaming Pie and released in 1997. You can hear an early version, though, this early one, on Ubu Jubu Part 5. And if you did get the big box set in 2020 for Flaming Pie, there are some songs from these sessions on those Ubu Jubus collections, Part 1, Part 2, and so forth. So you can check that out, too. A beautiful song. I mean, just wonderful. I am so glad that this was released on Flaming Pie and not just on a B-side or left unreleased. Alright, the next song he did with Billy Joel's backing band is called Loveliest Thing. Another nice ballad. This was released pretty soon. This was the B-side to Figure of Eight in 1989. The third song is called Atlantic Ocean. This was the B-side to Young Boy in 1997. You can also hear it on Ubu Jubu Part 2. I would say this is more or less like a sampling type song, an 80s sampling type sound, very similar to Party Party, okay? High tech, pretty cool. The next song is called Big Day. Now Big Day has loud guitars, it has a drum machine, it has that big 80s sound. This remains unreleased, unfortunately. But I like it. The thing is, he keeps repeating, you know, Big Day, Big Day. So I don't know. It was interesting, but I like the sound of it. All right, next song is called This One. We all know that one. That would be a single, later re-recorded for Flowers in the Dirt and released in 1989, and was a big hit for Paul. Good choice. All right, song number 6 is called Love Come Tumbling Down. This was a B-side released in 97 to Beautiful Night, to that song. Mid-tempo, medium tempo, nice love song, it's good. I like it. Good Paul McCartney song. All right, song number 7, Return to Pepperland. You know, this is what this project was named. Now, Return to Pepperland was supposed to be a standalone 12-inch single, okay? Remains unreleased, unfortunately. I wish they would have put it on All the Best. I think that would have worked out. It was 20 years, basically, after Sgt. Pepper had been released, so he decided to do a semi-tribute to it. He was thinking about it. A lot of that was in the air in summer of '87, especially with the release of Sgt. Pepper on CD for the first time. You know, that was a big deal. All right, the next song is called, well, this is a mash of like 2 songs put together, Beatles songs, Love Me Do and P.S. I Love You, called P.S. Love Me Do. I know a lot of people don't like this song. You can hear a live version of it as the B-side to the birthday single in 1990, but you can also, if you get the Japanese version of Flowers in the Dirt, it's one of the bonus songs on there. I like the song. I mean, he's doing something different with it. I mean, it's okay. It's not bad, but I know some people don't like it. All right, the next song is Once Upon a Long Ago. This was a single that was released from All the Best. This was continuing. These songs are recorded with Phil Ramone. It was a single in the UK, among other parts of the world, in 1987, and it was a top 10 hit over there. It did really well, and I really like it a lot. I really think it was just a good tune. Originally, though, this is interesting, he had wanted Freddie Mercury from Queen to help him do a duet with him, and some of the parts, the vocal parts, were written specifically for Freddie. Freddie was just a little busy with touring and doing his stuff with Queen. He wasn't able to do it. And it's interesting because this song, Once Upon a Long Ago, and Back on My Feet, the next song I'm going to talk about, Once Upon a Long Ago and Beautiful Night were 2 songs that were submitted to Princess Bride, the Rob Reiner film. And unfortunately, Rob decided to pass on them. He just didn't think they were right for, you know, his movie. Back on My Feet is the next song. This is the B-side to Once Upon a Long Ago. It's from 1987. It's an up-tempo song, and Elvis Costello helped co-write it with him. So this was during the time when they wrote a lot of songs that would appear on Flowers in the Dirt, and then Off the Ground among Spike and other, you know, Elvis Costello releases. Song 11 is called Peacocks. This is unreleased. You can find it on Ubu Jubu Episode 9 radio show if you have access to that, but that's where it aired on. Very electronic sounding, dance-oriented, very similar to like Spies Like Us, you know, that production value. Love Mix is one of my favorites on here too. This was an up-tempo 80s keyboard electronic sounding song. It is the B-side to Beautiful Night from 1997, and it's also on Ubu Jubu Part 6 if you've heard that one. Alright, so besides these sessions with Phil Ramone, there was other songs that were recorded during this time, and I'm going to talk about this because I'm going to read to you in a moment a cassette where a lot of these songs leaked out that was released in January, well, given out in January of '88 to people that were around Paul McCartney that were working on his material. One song, this first song, these couple songs were recorded with David Foster. David Foster, again, well-known producer who produced Chicago. Peter Cetera, he also worked with Linda Ronstadt, I believe, and among others, George Harrison. Lindiana was the song, and this is an up-tempo kind of ballad song. It's unreleased. It was given, I believe, to Linda McCartney for one of her birthdays. Really nice song. I like it a lot. Up-tempo song is the next one. I Love This House. Man, this is a fun one. This was recorded in 1984 with David Foster again. It would be the B-side to Young Boy from 97, and it's also on Ubu Jubu Part 1. I really like this song a lot. It features David Gilmour from Pink Floyd on lead guitar, and then there's also the song We Got Married, was recorded at the same time, featuring David Gilmour on guitar. This was later reworked and put on Flowers in the Dirt. Excellent tune. I'm not sure if it was reworked, but this is an early version. David was on it, so I don't know if he got David again. I'm assuming maybe he did some overdubbing and stuff on it. Alright, so the next song is called Same Love. Man, what a great tune. Same Love would be the B-side to Beautiful Night in 1997, released then. It is one of my favorite, and actually if you have the archive edition, even the 2-disc of Flaming Pie, it's on there too, and it's just excellent. I love this song. Really nice tune. Alright, next song is called Don't Break the Promise. This is a co-write with Eric Stewart from 10cc. Eric had written material with Paul for Press to Play. Unfortunately, that album really didn't do too well. This was probably one of the leftovers. This was recorded in 1988, and it's the B-side to The World Tonight single from 1997, and it's on Ubu Jubu Part 4. Alright, now we're on New Moon Over Jamaica with Johnny Cash. This, I think, eventually ended up on one of Johnny Cash's albums. It features Paul and Linda McCartney. Linda McCartney, very prominent on backing vocals, by the way. It's a country-sounding song. Really like it a lot, but it's primarily Johnny. I don't think this would have been on Return to Pepperland, but I included it because it was recorded during that time. Christian Bop is an instrumental recorded in 81. You can get this if you have the archive version of Pipes of Peace. It's on there. It's a futuristic sounding song, kind of continuing where McCartney 2 took off, short instrumental. And then finally we've got a song called Squid, which was recorded in 86. It's the B-side to The World Tonight, and it's also on Ubu Jubu Part 3. There was a cassette that I told you about that was put together. I think what happened was they're putting songs together when they're recording an album, and maybe they give them to the producers and they get an idea of, okay, these are songs we're going to work on, these are demos. So this was compiled, a studio compilation cassette on January 21st, 1988, and these songs were recorded between 81 and 88. Two of the tracks, Rough Ride and Figure 8, were from the initial sessions for Flowers in the Dirt with Trevor Horn and Steve Lipson. And this was really one of the reasons why this cassette, that a lot of these songs leaked out. So I'm going to read this to you. This is Return to Pepperland. So what do you think of these after you listen to these songs? Do you think this should have been released after Press to Play? First song is Return to Pepperland, then Love Come Tumbling Down, Christian Pop, Atlantic Ocean, Lindiana, I Love This House, We Got Married, Rough Ride, and Figure of 8. Those last three were later put on Flowers in the Dirt. Then you have Squid, Big Day, Beautiful Night, Flaming Pie, Loveliest Thing, Love Mix, Peacocks, and then finally this one. This one was a big single for Paul on Flowers in the Dirt. So thank you very much for watching my video. I'd love to hear your comments. Thank you. Take care. Bye.